Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're going to take a look in this video at part of Chapter 7, Geo-Enabling Your Project. Essentially, for this particular chapter, we're going to be looking at how you take information, different data points, and how you connect them to an address, and thus how you can connect things to points on a map. So this is a very important concept, and it's an ability that you want to be able to do just on your own as a GIS analyst, or even say, for instance, for your final project. So to start, we're going to look at 7A, which is kind of preparing project data. And we're going to be looking especially with and at tables again. And as you read over the chapter, it goes through a couple of the important concepts like geocoding, which you can refer back to chapter 4 to kind of review some of the concepts. And we're going to be looking at an address table, reference data, and then an address locator. So we're going to have multiple files that we're working with. And again, if you're having issues with these particular activities, oftentimes some of the errors are when you're working with files or saving files, you're not putting them all in the same place. You're using different names, or as we've seen, and it is true with this chapter as well, some of the workflow steps that are in the textbook, they've changed them a little bit in ArcGIS. So I'll try to hit those as we go through. All right, so our scenario here, and again, I always love these scenarios because it makes it's a question that makes it a little more connected, is that affordable housing for low-income residents in many cities is often isolated from services. Using GIS to visualize the current state of community or public housing sites can determine where potential services are. Okay. So it gives a little bit of an idea here of taking a look, and there is some great information that follows this topic a little bit further. So for our data, we're going to be working again in our GTK folder, and we're going to be looking at the community housing GDB, remember our geodatabase, and it talks a little bit here about what some of the data points will be. And we're also going to be using this community housing. And again, it gives you some more information. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is to join a table. All right. And so in ArcGIS Pro, you're going to open up the community housing APRX. So our base file here, our project file from the community housing folder. And you should see something like this with a base map and then the census tracts or areas, the purple polygons here or lavender polygons. Okay. So now we're going to add the household income CSV file. And again, a CSV file is a spreadsheet. Essentially, it's a comma separated values file. So this is, for instance, you might have your data entered in Google Sheets or in Excel spreadsheet, and you can create these CSV files. Okay, so we're going to add that to the project, and then we're going to open the household income table to review it. All right, so you can see we have these different fields here. And we have, let me move that out of the way. We have just a bit over 2,000. So there's a lot of data here. Okay. You should close the table, and then we're going to open up the LA census tracts attribute table to review it. Okay. The key here is whenever you're going to join tables, you want to always make sure there is at least one field that is the same and would have the same data in each table. That's how we connect the two. So again, we're going to join the census tracts for the household income based on that GeoID2 and GeoID2. Now, again, even though they have slightly different names, always make sure they're either the same or similar so it's easy to find what you want to do. And remember, ignore the index warning. So we're going to go to the LA Census Tract Attribute Table, Options menu, and we're going to point to the Joins and Relates and click Add Join. And once we have our join in the geoprocessing pane, I'm going to complete the details for the Add Join tool using these parameters right here. And again, you'll notice I just clicked on OK, so that is a slight difference from the book. You don't see the run. I did the validate just to check it, and then we clicked on OK. Oops, sorry. And then you can check in the attribute table to view the joined attributes. You can see them down here at the end. Okay, so again, the run isn't there. I clicked on a validate. There were some messages in there, like we said, because it's not indexed, and then you just click on OK. So now we're going to create and calculate a field. And we have the local government uses the AMI to determine a household's eligibility for public housing. So we're going to take a look at that. So in the LA Census Tracts Attribute Table, open the Fields view from the Attribute Table Pane Options menu. And in the Field Table view, remember, we'll open on a new tab. Okay, now that we have our new field, you're going to type in this information right here, the way it looks for the new field. Okay. So once you have everything in, and remember when you're entering data in, if you're having a hard time, you can left double click into one of these fields here, and then it should let you, because sometimes a single click doesn't always work. And then on the Fields tab on the ribbon, click Save and close the Fields view. Again, the ribbon is up here. Save and close the field view. Oops. Okay, so now we're going to stay in the LA Census Tracts attribute table. We're going to scroll to the right and right-click the area median income column heading. And then we're going to click Calculate Field. So here's our new field. Click it to select it. Calculate. So again, we're going to use this particular formula or calculation. All right. So in the geoprocessing pane that popped up under the expression, we're going to scroll through and the fields list, double click the HHI income, click the slash right here. That stands for division. So then we're going to type in and the asterisk. That's what this little thing is right here and here. The asterisk stands for multiplication. So we're going to type all of this in so it looks like this. I've got everything said here. And I found with some students, if your numbers aren't matching later on, oftentimes it's because a number here was transposed or dropped or something in the calculation itself. Okay. And again, if you get a warning field like this, that is okay. That will sometimes happen. But you should have, oops, your calculation. Okay, so now, again, we've been using the graduated symbols and things like that to help, like we did with the circles. The larger circles meant something versus a smaller. So we're going to use the graduated colors. When you have a map, again, that uses color, especially as it's kind of categorization. So it's like you see patches of different colors. Sometimes that is called a choropleth map. The very similar type of choropleth map is like when you see a weather map and you see the hundreds are red and the 40s are blue. Again, it's using color to represent data. Okay, so again, this first little bit right here is going to go over what each of the colors mean. So we're going to do it based on the percentages that we calculated, because that's what all those numbers and things. So you want to make sure you close all of your tables, and then you're going to select, so left click once on your census tracts layer. You're going to go to the appearance tab, and remember we have that issue there. I'll show you that. And then you're going to open up the symbology drop down list and select graduated colors. Now again, there are other ways to get to this. This is just one set of steps. Remember, it's feature layer, not appearance. Click on the little drop down menu here and graduated colors. Now again, it's just choosing a random color for right now. So we're going to set up our percentages and the color scheme as well. Okay. So in the symbology pane from the field drop-down list, make sure you have your area median. Okay. You want to select the manual interval. So that way it's setting it to the intervals we want. If you do random, then it's kind of picking it. And how those pick, I'm not going to go into it here, but there are different calculations. So different methods mean different ways to basically divide your data. We're going to select the orange red with 5 classes, okay, from the drop down menu. And we're going to click the show names box to help find the color scheme. Okay. And then we're going to click on the more down arrow and we're going to click, let me get right here. I'm trying to, we're going to then here, you're going to see that it's the reverse symbol order. Okay. And do not reverse the order of the actual class breaks, or you can right click symbol and click right reverse or click reverse symbol order, either or. And then the upper value column will set the class breaks. So you click the first field and you're going to put in your 30, enter in the corresponding label. We're going to again be using these right here. So as you go through, you're going to come back to this. You're going to use these as the labels, and these are going to be your separating classifications. So again, it should in the end look like this. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go and add all of these in. So I get right here. Kind of pause this a moment. Okay, so I did a little bit here. So I have this set up. Again, if you're having problem finding the color scheme, you can click on the show names. So then you can scroll through that. Now down here, you're going to click on the more and do that reverse symbol order. Okay, so again, it should now be here. And as it says, do not reverse the order of the actual class breaks. So again, we still want this right here, which is why it should be here. Okay. And so now we're going to, in the upper value column, we will set the class breaks. So click the first field, type 30, press enter, and in the corresponding, check your labels. Again, remember, double click if you're having problems. I'm going to put our 30 in and enter. And again, for our label, it's going to be extremely low income. So I'm going to go ahead and pause while I'm filling that in and getting everything to look like this. Okay, so once you have that, you're going to click the more down arrow and click Format All Symbols. You're going to click Properties and change the outline color to Soapstone Dust. And then click Apply. Okay. By reversing order of the symbols, as it mentions, it helps to really pop out. In this case, even though we're using the term low income, to us, that's really what we're looking for. So that's why we used bread as the emphasis. Okay. Again, save this project, and I'm going to ask you to, again, as you, save this. Let me get here. Again, let me just close this up. Okay. I'll take this picture right here, so you can show me this picture so that I can see all of this and this, or if you want to share your project package as well. Just make sure, save it as before you go on. Okay. And just save this here. Yes. Okay. And like I said, you can save it as 7A if you want. All right. Take care.